Welcome back, humble traders. Today I'll be doing a technical breakdown on Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. If you're new to the channel, remember to take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more charting and price manipulations. Do note that I'm just humble chartist and I do not provide any buy or sell calls. Instead, I focus on the potential traps laid out by the market makers. Always remember, the stock market is never obvious. It is designed to fool most of people most of the time. Without further ado, let's take a look at Alibaba. So Alibaba had a very good rebound just this week, and we actually bottomed out at about 73, and then now we are currently trading about 108. So the question now is whether or not 73 has really been the bottom. If you were to ask me, I would say that potentially yes, 73 may have been the bottom for Alibaba, but whether or not we will visit those levels again, then my answer is perhaps in the upcoming months, perhaps 3 to 6 months from now. So when we are on a downtrend, right, what we want to see is a trend reversal. A trend reversal is something like this. So for instance, we are on a downtrend, and then suddenly there's a reversal of trend. So the trend starts off like that. And then you can see that there is higher lows, and also higher highs. So only when we see this kind of pattern, it means that there is a trend reversal. What we don't want to see is that we create something like this. This is considered a considered a low here, but then this is a lower low. So that's not something we want to see in the upcoming sessions. So yeah. So currently moving on, what is the resistance for Alibaba? So as you all know, 108 and 110 around these levels has been a huge support for Alibaba, where we actually supported it by 3 occasions, or even 4 occasions. So currently now the previous resistance, or rather the previous support, will definitely turn to resistance, and therefore you can see some sellers appearing at these levels, and then there's a very pretty long shadow, and we did not close at the peak. But nevertheless, since it's a Friday, you can expect some profit taking. So moving on, what do I see for Alibaba? On the coming Monday, I do expect perhaps we may potentially break through this 108, but it's a form of fake breakout. So what does a fake breakout actually do? So for instance, let's say we go to 113, 114 levels. What do these market makers actually want to do is to lure breakout traders to come in to take the trade. So for instance, this 110 level is a very strong resistance, right? What they'll do is they'll push up to maybe 112, 113, 114. And then after they will throw it back down, because the longs have came in at this level, and the breakout traders who intend to long above these levels, they may potentially set their limit orders at this level. So yeah, I don't foresee us going through this 108 level so soon, because it was a very strong support previously. If you look at the 4-hour chart, you can see that we are being rejected off by the clouds just at this level here. So on the way up, cloud acts as a resistance. Cloud will act as a resistance on the way up. Likewise, on the way down, you can see that cloud will act as a support. So when we're on the way down, cloud will act as a support. And obviously, when we're on a downtrend, when we're going up, the cloud will always be above us. So yeah. So nevertheless, if you look out on Alibaba, we are still on a downtrend. So it isn't too early to celebrate yet, even though we had a very strong rebound. And nevertheless, we also have some gaps to fill. If you look at Alibaba during about a few weeks ago, there's some gaps here at around 118, 122 levels. And then there is also another gap here that needs to be filled, which is around just slightly above around 115, 116 levels. So these gaps need to be filled on the way up. And of course, if you look closely here, we actually created a very large gap because of this gap up. Because when Hong Kong do well, Hong Kong will get a bullish engulfing candle. On the other hand, the one listed in New York will have a strong gap up. So that's the trouble with dual listing. It's always having these issues of a strong gap up on one particular site. So this gap here is about $7 from 80 to 87. So I will believe that in order for the stock to actually go up, we may potentially have to fill this gap. We may not close it completely. We may perhaps drop to about 82 to 83, and that is sufficiently small enough because $2 is $1 to $2 is very much negligible. And what I foresee for Alibaba is that it may potentially form a double bottom, because if you look at previous two corrections, let's take a look at this correction here in sometime in November 2019. You can see that before we actually had a good uptrend, we had this bottom here, and then we rebounded quite strongly, and then we revisited these levels once again. Likewise, the first correction in the early days of Alibaba, this correction also saw a double bottom. So this correction was quite a while ago, around August 2015. So you can see that after a 50% correction, we had a double bottom here. So you can see that it went down, went up, and then went down before we rocketed up. So I sincerely believe that we may have another double bottom once again, as per past two corrections. So what I feel may happen, we may actually see something like this, and then after a double bottom, to also fill this $7 gap, which is created, which may have been created for a reason. The time frame that I do expect is around 3 to 6 months, or around 100 to 200 days. So in the event that we have a double bottom earlier than this 100 to 200 days, then potentially we may not form a double bottom, but instead we may slide further, because we want some time between this collection period, and we not want to fall too fast and not create a lower low. Lower low is a very bad indication that the downtrend is still very persistent. So yeah, if you look at the MACD tells us our current momentum. You can look at the for the monthly daily chart first. The daily chart, you can see that the blue line already cut above the orange line, which is a good sign. So as long as we can continue forward and continue up, then we can see a bullish momentum. Nevertheless, I expect a correction soon, and thereafter we can go up, back up again. Look at the weekly chart on the MACD. The weekly chart, we have went below the orange line, but we are trying to go back above. And on a weekly chart, you can see that this is a very bullish engulfing candle. So bullish engulfing candle tends to be very bullish. So next week we may potentially climb up further if the correction on the Monday and Tuesdays is not too big. So yeah, just a short recap. Alibaba has went up quite a bit. In fact, climbed over 40% in the last 4 trading sessions. So what do I expect for Alibaba is that we may potentially have a fake breakout above these levels, with strong resistance at about 108 to 110. Sellers may intend to do a fake breakout at these levels, and then we may fall back down, potentially to $100 as psychological support, in the event that they want to shake off more people to cut their losses or stop loss out. Then they may push to about 98 to 97. These levels are very crucial to watch these levels here. And thereafter, if we are being supported, then we can continue to trend up higher, creating a higher low here compared to this low. But nevertheless, within 3 to 6 months, I expect Alibaba to have a double bottom and to revisit these levels and close this gap once again. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe as you'll keep the Uptrend channel intact. Leave in the comment section below your thoughts on this particular stock, or if you have any other stock tier requests. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.